Hello there, everybody. It's your boy Dre. Real quick here before we start this first bonus episode of Fine Time. Me and Steve recorded this in December. Back in December, we were just getting our audio equipment together for a new way of recording this new show. As a result, all of our settings weren't set the way they should have been. And this one, unfortunately, has some pretty bad glitches, some audio glitches, especially on my end. I cut out here and there. Sorry about that. I just thought I'd say something up front about it, just because it doesn't really meet the quality standards of our other shit. But we figured that out since then. This should be the only one going forward that this should do this in. It's not too bad or anything, or else I wouldn't put it up. But, we also didn't want to re-record it because you can't fake enthusiasm. You can only see a movie once and talk about it once. I didn't really want to, do it over, right? So it's just going to have to remain. Sorry about the audio glitches, but I think this is a really fun episode, and our enthusiasm shines through my poor decision-making on the audio recording front. So, without any further ado, here we go. Hello. Welcome back to Fine Time. You ready to have... No, I'm not going to make those kind of jokes here. It's bad. It's your boy Dre. You know that already. And I'm here with my boy Steve.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. We're here to talk about... Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just stretching because it's been a while since we talked about a movie and...
flexing the movie muscles.
Gotta get in the shape there.
Okay, I'm glad. You everything all stretched out, and
I think we're about there.
Everything, I mean. Yeah, we're here to talk about Dynasty Warriors, as I often am, but we're going to talk about Dynasty Warriors, the movie. This is a thing that exists, Steve.
Well, as I recall, because I'm a movie type person. I see movie feeds on Twitter, and that's like the replacement for movie magazines of the day. And one day they're just popping up going, oh, there's a Dynasty Warriors movie being made. This was just this year. So
yeah, I mean, it's really... It just existed one day, right? Oh, there's a Dynasty Warriors. Because here's the thing. We may have heard a long time ago that it was in production, but who actually pays attention to that shit? Lots of things get rights bought or in production, and you know how the movie industry is, right? We believe it when we see it.
You remember... oh, geez, it's almost been 20 years now when, after Metroid Prime became popular, John Woo was like, we are making a Metroid movie.
Mm-hmm.
Any day now.
And that's exactly what I said when I saw the announcement. I went, mm-hmm.
It's gonna come out, guys.
Sure.
Any day.
That's why, when the Tomb Raider movie came out, I was like, oh, this is a real movie. Like, when I saw the trailer, because you kept hearing about it, right? And I was like, oh, this is a thing that's happening.
Incidentally, I think that's my review of the Tomb Raider movies. It's a movie.
Think about, here's the thing going into this. Obviously, video game movies, we all know the stigma, and it is well-earned stigma, right? So many things out there should have been slam dunks, can't fail, but they did. We just almost saw what happened with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They almost gave him weird teeth and made him look like a 1980s, something that popped out of Gremlin, right? So
I think that's a little generous, because if it looked like something from the 1980s, that would have been fun.
Yeah, but...
This was just terrifying.
It was terrifying, all right. But no, you would think, basically, Dynasty Warriors, how can you fuck it up? well, never speak too soon, right? Typically we like to talk production notes here. We love to know how and why things came to pass. However, in this instance, Steve, I really don't think we have anything because China.
Oh, try as I might, I tried looking into the production companies. Wikipedia has like 12 of them listed, and I researched a bunch of them, and they all have little blurbs of little pockets saying this company is involved in auxiliary production in certain movies produced in China or Hong Kong. Okay.
And there's like a lot of them here. So, and then of course we can't find budget and how much. I mean, who knows, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure this movie was expensive. It looked like it. That's for sure. They got that right.
And as far as I know, unless it appeared at a small theater near you, it did not get a wide theatrical release here.
Are Netflix movies? This is distributed by Netflix in the U.S., so I guess as an exclusive for anyone who doesn't know. Are those even allowed to be in theaters? I mean, I know sometimes they allowed them because you remember how the Academy was. If it's not in a theater, it's not a movie, right? So, like,
Well, yeah, that's how they usually get in. But I mean, I think this ended up being a Netflix movie. I would assume because of a certain coronavirus going around stifling everything.
also like let's be real. Would this have done well at the box office? I don't think so. Like we would have went to see this 5 times, right? Each, but
Well, listen, we're going to get into this in a minute. There's a lot of nods to, I'm not going to say actual, but older Chinese martial arts films, and their time in the sun here is gone. I feel like people that used to go see that would now rather spend their money on the newest Marvel movie or something akin to that. So
I feel like that really hasn't been a thing since we were born. TBH, like going to see some random Hong Kong action flick. I mean, like
yeah,
maybe
I mean,
we had a little bit of a Jackie Chan explosion in the '90s, and some of them came over here, and I did go to see those, but that didn't really happen that often, So
I seem to remember more of them here, but maybe I'm just younger and more impressionable, and I like those movies more. And then Jackie Chan made Around the World in 80 Days, and that pretty much ended all of that here forever.
I don't even remember what that is. So that's probably good. Hey, let's talk about this wonderful movie. Oops, did I spoil it by saying wonderful movie? Because Steve, this is delightful. This was delightful.
You know what? This might be the best live action video game movie ever made. I'm gonna say that now. Yes, live action. Don't come at me with some anime thing that I'm not thinking about right now. After years and years, this might be it. This is what we were waiting for.
This is absolutely it. This is the best video game. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it front. This is the best video game movie of all time, animated or otherwise. I don't care what anybody says. This is incredible.
If you haven't watched this yet, turn this off, go watch it, then come back. Because we're about to really, really get into this.
So, how do we start off? Kind of, I don't know, with
Dynasty Warriors.
We start off with a loading screen, basically, right?
In 2021, mind you. I mean, in the beginning, I suppose we should also mention that we did watch this in the English dub.
Oh yeah, we watched this in English on purpose because anyone who is not just Dynasty Warriors, any Muso fan at all, they don't really do this anymore because they hate us. But back in the day, they used to give them all English voices, and it was wonderful. It was just delightfully cheesy, and this movie delivers. So if you miss that old voice acting that they don't do anymore, you'll get it here.
So, lady at the beginning is like, in the beginning there was warriors, and they were strong, and they fought mighty battles, and there were these weird aerial shots that kind of like they told like one of those Google satellite maps what a forest looks like, but then the robot didn't feel like going into work that day, so it pulled out Photoshop and it drew a forest by itself. Well, I get how it's like trying to mimic like the introductions to the games, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe just take an aerial shot of a forest then if you're going to
I
do that.
mean, I guess so, but it's like I feel like that's also just kind of what the games do. I don't know if it was an intentional nod to the game, but remember after the forest thing, they had like the makeshift like CG map of China at the time too. That's also
Yeah.
very video game, so maybe they were going for that, but personally, I guess it didn't need to be. Also, I like that the opening scroll. I like that she explained that they have like random magic, as if we just wouldn't accept that as like a thing. Like if you're coming to see this, like
Not only
yes,
are, guys, not only are people who are about to be flying across the battlefield with wires, but they might have fire coming out of their ass. So well, as soon like the very instant this crawl is over, I am Dong Zhao. This is my army. No rebel shall be spared by wrath. Like
it is.
just all of the just everything you've ever seen like an 80s martial arts dub. Like this is like everything you've come to expect from that a guy reading from a card, he's like slapping guys around, people are flying back. It's just wonderful. And then the Three Musketeers show up.
It is absolutely wonderful action. But yeah, the Three Musketeers show up of Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei are our three heroes, basically. But yeah, they basically are the Three Musketeers in this movie. It's weird. It works. I don't really remember it being like that in the games, but like, because like in the games, you sort of just pick your character and you go through their little story. I'm not saying they didn't know each other. At the same time, they really like stuck to those three guys, which is fine.
I think here that was kind of the best way to have three characters, and then but also really have the three characters.
So, you want to take a wild guess as to who my favorite Dynasty Warriors character is?
Is it Dong Zhao?
Definitely Dong Zhuo. He is my absolute favorite, and he appeared like 2 seconds into the movie. So this is like perfect. This is already one. This is going to be incredible. He's already here. I didn't, because I don't really like to look up stuff about movies so I didn't really know which characters were going to be in and who weren't. But man, whew, and just that, I love that man. He is delightfully like comically awful, like Snidely Whiplash bad, right? Like he is so over the top bad. It's great.
I mean, he's just kind of riding around back and forth on the horse, just sort of killing one or two guys at a time, like how a AI controlled general you might in a real game be doing, while our musketeers are doing all the real work, like doing all the actual Dynasty Warriors shit, like blowing apart the guys and weird magic stuff. And
you ever go? I'm sorry. You ever go like back to your base is being attacked, and then you go back there and they're just standing around looking at each other
every goddamn time.
It's like, you can just fight. I mean, it's fine. You're just letting him stand there. But yeah, man, it starts on this large scale battle. You get all the Muso attacks up front. Don't forget, Zhang Liao from up on the mountain was doing like the magical woo and like turned into like with this like magical wind or whatever. And then I think Liu Bei kills him or whatever, gets up there and kills him. Of course he gets up there on some wires. But yeah, that was delightful.
And we are not disparaging wires. Wires are wonderful.
Oh, it's excellent. This is all love here. Yeah, they didn't waste any time. Oh God, the music. They got the butt rock. They totally did they did the metal-ish hard rock from the 80s, which is a staple of Dynasty Warriors by now. But
man, I honestly figure like they would have everyone likes an orchestra these days, but nope.
Not me. Everyone knows that. So thanks for giving me the butt rock.
Everyone except Andre likes an orchestra, but I appreciate the butt rock today. It was a lot of fun.
It was very appropriate. I thought for sure they were going to use some music from the games. I didn't really notice any, But there's some couple that are like really famous. I thought they might just throw in, but I didn't hear it. That's fine. They didn't have to do that.
I am sure there is some licensing deep state nonsense that we don't know about.
I'm sure there is. I think we should also, at this point, it's good to talk about the level of violence in this movie is interesting, right? Because, okay, the video games are rated teen, right? So you can't go too far. They're mostly rated teen because you're killing like thousands of waves of warrior, but there's no blood. There's no like real depictions of like...
A lot of blood in this movie, Andre.
There's a lot of actual piercing. There's a part in that opening scene where an arrow goes through someone's head, right? There's a part where you stab. There's some good up close stabbings. You're not going to see that in a game because you will get rated mature. And if this were a theatrical release, it would be rated R for sure. Even though it's kind of silly and it's not like super graphic, it would be enough to be rated R. But in this context on Netflix, it's like rated TV 14 or something. So it's like, I guess you can just get away with that on here.
A lot of this is still very silly, as we're going to get into.
Oh, there was a part where I laughed my ass off. I think you know what I'm going to say, but we'll save that for later. But yeah, what did you like? It's interesting to see, maybe because I play more Muso, and I don't know how you feel about this. It's just weird to see a Dynasty Warriors movie have that level of kind of grisly violence at times. You don't see that in the game, but it's necessary.
I mean, I guess when you were making the movie, I guess you can't have guys just flying back if you're stabbing them directly. So I mean, it'd be kind of weird if you just shoved the spear in the guy's throat and nothing came out. So
yeah, but that's why I don't like war movies and stuff that are rated like PG-13, because the violence is never grisly enough to like really bring that impact home. It just looks like a bunch of soldiers hitting each other with sticks, and that's not really that exciting. But here they got it. It's good. It's not over the top. It's not Saving Private Ryan or something, right? But it's also like it's enough. Okay, we have a big battle, and then Dong Zhuo does Dong Zhuo things, right?
I mean, all of a sudden he's being victorious. He's, even though the Musketeers are they did everything. Like, oh, you don't actually have a rank. Fuck you guys. Goes back to the palace. Let's swap out one child emperor for another child emperor, as you do in these romancing stories.
I didn't understand that subplot at all, to be honest with you. I was like, okay, so not that it matters. It really doesn't matter. But like, I was like,
already had the other kid wearing the stuff ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was just like there. It's just like, okay, here's a new prince, I guess. And then it was just like, Dong Zhuo being terrible, like implied rape. Remember that part for 2 seconds? And then like
2 seconds of implied rape.
And then like some others. He's just establishing Dong Zhuo as like a really bad guy, which obviously will establish why our other hero, Cao Cao, would want to assassinate him.
Is that how it's pronounced? Because in the opening, because they changed his pronunciation in the dub several times.
Okay, it's Cao Cao. Okay, here's the thing though: if you've played Dynasty Warriors 4, they mistakenly pronounce it Cow Cow, which is hilarious. Like in retrospect, I didn't know any better at the time, so I was just like, okay, whatever. And then in like Dynasty Warriors 5, it's Cao Cao. Okay. I guess CAO for anyone who doesn't know how this is spelled. But like, yes, it is something. I was hoping they didn't like really go the Cow Cow route, and they didn't. But yeah, Cao Cao.
I mean, I thought they did for like a scene, but I heard them go like, Cow Cow, the nation is in mourning. Why are you laughing? Because you are laughable.
Oh God! The whole scene where he's just like sitting there like a prissy little bitch, like at his tea table, while the rest of them are like, he's like, "I'll show you fuckers," and he turns that shit over. It's great. It is so dramatic.
Hey, I'll show you guys. I'll kill the emperor.
Except he kind of chickens out from doing that, so he sets out to kill him. Okay, hold on. Let's back up a little bit. Before he tries to kill him, he gets that like dagger, right? I don't remember how he acquires this like dagger that can cut through anything.
Oh, I do, because
Okay.
when they're at the scene where they're all yelling at him and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna kill the emperor!" Ha ha ha! One of the guys who was like, "Listen, I'm actually on your side. I just needed to tell him I wasn't to save face. Here's a dagger that you can cut through mud.
That's right.
You need to use this to." Jesus Christ! Just
I mean,
I know this is a story
it's great.
of politics and betrayal, but it's like, come on, you have 2 hours. We don't.
That's exactly what Dynasty Warriors is, and that's what I should also say that too. Anyone who's familiar with Dynasty Warriors cutscenes in general, like you'll be right at home here. It is exactly what you expect in between these battles. It is perfect. I'm telling you, it is great. This is the best adaptation of a video game I've ever seen. It is spot on, guys. It is spot on. Like all that stuff happens. So what? Okay, so he tries to assassinate him, and then he tries to assassinate Dong Zhuo, and then Dong Zhuo wakes up at the last second. He's like, "Huh?" And then it's like, I don't really remember what happened.
I present you this knife that could cut through mud. And then he uses it to cut through this block. It's like, oh, this is very nice. and then the General Lu Bu's Emperor, I think he was going to kill you. Like, no, he just gave me this knife. Why? And I was going to give him this horse for service to the country. Why would he be doing such a thing?
Yeah, Dong Zhuo was none the wiser until Lu Bu was like, "Bro, he was going to kill you." I'm pretty sure. Like,
well, I'm sure if any of that was true, Lu Bu won't let him leave the state.
Sure enough. And then it kicks off an excellent sequence right after that because Cao Cao's trying to leave now.
Here's your horse, sir. And then
here's your horse, sir. And then I don't remember how it happened because like guys start shooting arrows at him, right? He takes a couple of arrows, and then he hits this like lantern thing at them, and they all just catch on fire. All the arrow guys on top of the rooftop or whatever, which is just excellent.
I'm a bit lost on how that worked so well too. I guess there was oil or something that spilled. I don't know.
Just magical Chinese magic. I guess I don't fucking know, man. It was
Deep State
great.
Secrets.
Deep State Dynasty Secrets. Dude, just excellent. By the way, like in all the games, do you like how they always? It's the same thing. They put the arrow guys just up front. Just stand right here while whoever it's like, we're going to get cut in 2 seconds. Okay, whatever, I guess. But,
hey, I have an idea. Why don't we stand on the hill this time? Well, I can easily tell you that, they're riding through the thing. They knock the lantern off the roof and blow up the guys. And then Lu Bu starts chasing him on the fucking roof.
On the roof. Horses on the roof.
On fucking rooftops, and then into the fucking forest where he starts, which he fucking levels with lightning. before Zhao Zhao just bails up with the horse off a cliff where they're like, well, he's dead. He's not coming back. He's not dead until you bring him back.
Lu Bu leveled the side, like he cleaved not in half this mountain, but like he did this big after all the thunder shit. He did this big crescent wave of God knows what, and then half the mountain just falls apart somehow.
Just like in real life.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happens. I mean, just incredible stuff. It was excellent. I don't know why Lu Bu has so much lightning. I don't remember that being a thing before. Also, he did not mess up his grasshopper headdress at all. It was like perfect the whole time. I don't know how they did that in the props, but like, man, just excellent stuff there with the Lu Bu headdress.
Man, if only there was any information on the production of this movie whatsoever.
Oh my God, this would win an Oscar for best costuming if there were any justice in the world, which there is not. But yeah, just excellent. I don't even remember what were the Three Musketeers doing through this time after they came to
Oh
Dong Zhuo.
well,
It's like we have no rank, and then it's like get out of here.
oh well, we skipped a bit. They were going off to the thing where they some kind of mountain thing where they're getting help from
Oh,
some lady who's like giving more Dynasty Warriors justification, like we have weapons that gain strength the more people they kill, and like and then this is how Xiao Zhao is going through is getting to where we are going to be today, and that's what you're watching, and for a good chunk of this movie.
yeah, that well, like they enter the forest. I thought they were going to do the Lost Woods thing because they were like, "Wow, we already passed these trees," and Liu Bei's like, "I think you're right." And then they start tripping balls, and then the forest just turns into this dark masterpiece of like light show, like it's like the Electric Light Orchestra of forests, only like better than that. And it's just like it was great. And then who was that lady? She never.
I'm not familiar with her at all. I was hoping you knew.
No, it was magical. I just called her Magical Lady in the notes here. I don't even remember her name.
All right, if anyone out there knows who this lady is, beyond the actress, which I also didn't write down for our notes,
I
let
mean,
us know.
yeah, it was excellent. Just the visual of it was great. But then, so we start seeing some stuff in flashback sequence where Cao Cao escapes. He's found in the river after Lu Bu levels the mountain. He's found in the river by who? Some just random people.
I mean, they were given names.
Okay, but like nobody consequential.
Well, no, saying. He was. Oh no, he was captured. He's like giving so little fucks about being executed that this guy abandoned state to change sides to be with him, and then they go to this other people where they're being suspicious that they're changing, that they're about to report them to the state, so they kill him, but it turns out they're not. So then they have to kill the other guy who really was going out to buy wine for this guy. It's none of these people are on screen long enough to actually keep track of them, and that's okay given the movie this is. But
I mean, I did like all that. Okay, well, two things about this. One, that is a perfect example of why this movie is great because they don't waste your time. Like they just. Okay, he gets captured. These people are going to help him. He was suspicious. They thought he was going to hurt him. Didn't, killed him. Had to kill the other guy. Fine. And then he's right back in our graces. Like in 2 minutes, this happens. Not 2 minutes, but you know what I mean. It's pretty fast. And it's like,
I mean, it's fine. But when you're a podcaster trying to take notes for a show, you're like, wait, hang on. Who are you guys? And you're dead already? Oh, never mind.
Need to know them details. All they need to know is Cao Cao is a badass. But no, I like that. I like that they showed that scene was ultimately important though because if you don't play the games, you don't really understand the whole the whole Nobunaga's ambition thing. I know that's Samurai Warriors, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like the guys from this era have this steely resolve. All the Three Musketeers want to do is protect the Han Dynasty, right? That is literally their only reason for living. Same with Cao Cao has his own mission, which is to kill Dong Zhuo, and that's it. So whoever he has to kill in the process, that's not okay with him. But you know what I mean? It's all comes out in the wash, I guess is a better way to put it, as far as he is concerned. And that's important to establish only because, like I said, if you don't play the games, you're not going to know that stuff. This is just going to seem really brutal and random, and maybe to a degree that it is. But I like that they had that just because it establishes Cao Cao as a character. Look, in a movie where you're just going to have a bunch of wires and CG, magical weapons and stuff. You need a little bit of that stuff too. So I'm glad it was there. It was definitely not a waste of time, and it was so fast.
Yeah, they wasted so little time. They didn't even give that last guy a proper burial. They just propped him up by the side of the river, being like, "Okay, well, we don't have time for this. We got an emperor to kill."
Yeah, and then Cao Cao's assistant was really put off by this, and then he was going to kill Cao Cao, but then he didn't, and he just left him. But he left his dagger in the tree next to where Cao Cao was sleeping. And I'm like, there's a lot of scenes of people trying to get stabbed in their sleep in this movie. This is really
that's already what, 2?
Yeah. It's excellent. Anyway, but I love how classic bad guy Dong Zhuo is. Like, there's this part where like he's just laying in bed with his 4 hoes, and they're just like laying around and giggling. Oh, Dong Zhuo, you know, like that whole thing. He's just like laughing. And then his assistant comes in. And he's like, "Oh, Master Dong Zhuo, blah blah. What is it? You know, you're interrupting my sexy time, basically."
That was like the live action version of something that looked like would have appeared in like a Newgrounds short about Dynasty Warriors in 2005 or so. Like it was that ridiculous. Like he's sitting there naked, almost naked with those concubines.
You gotta have it. If you're a bad guy, you gotta have a gaggle of women. You gotta.
I know you do, but it was just so on the nose.
It really was. But yeah, I like how later he's also doing the giggly girl thing on the throne. Like, this man has no shame. Like, he just doesn't care. It's great. But anyway, yeah, that's the same throne he like hit the young prince's head on, right? In a violent display of God knows what. And so I guess that throne is already defiled. So
yeah, I guess there was. I mean, we got stabbing in your sleep, child abuse. This movie has it all.
Yeah, Dong Zhuo does a lot. But yeah, so anyway, back to Spoopy Forest, I guess, or
yeah. This concludes our tale of what Xiao Xiao's up to. Thank you. We appreciate you. We know you have other places you could have gone to, and we're happy you chose us. Please take your divine weapons on the way out.
Those were totally rank max weapons from the blacksmith in the video games that you have to build up by weapon fusion and like other shit. That's totally what they got after the Spoopy Forest.
I mean, was it? Then they're like, "Is it a dream?" And then they're all just like sitting there, like, "I guess it wasn't a dream if we have these overpowered weapons now."
Nope, it is. Yeah, so I guess they get these weapons, right? And then I forget how they get to Yuan Shao. I forget how that happens. Did they meet up with Cao Cao somehow? And then I forget how they get to
they're the last people to show up to this army because he's already Xiao Xiao's already organizing his army, and everyone's brought several, like 15,000 men and 20,000 men and however many thousand men, and then it's just the 3 of them that show up, and it's okay because they have loyalty, and that's important.
That is important. However, they should have just said that they got like rank max weapons from the DLC blacksmith shop, and then they would have been okay.
They had letters from Xiao Xiao himself somehow. That I'm not sure how they actually got, but
do you like how Cao Cao read that like fake letter from the thing and he just tossed it over his shoulder into the fire, right into the you remember what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. Anyway, so what? Like, some guys show up from Dong Zhuo's army, right? And he starts challenging them one-on-one. Do they just show up, or do they? I forget. Not that it really matters too much, but
well, they do a bunch of off-screen battles and things where they just tell you that okay, they're making their way across the Chinese landscape, working their way to Danzhou, when all of a sudden Hua Zhang is blocking the way and challenging people to one-on-one duels to reduce morale. Please send one of your generals to fight him.
How does the first guy die, Steve? Come on.
Just fly. Chops him, just flies off.
His head just flies off right into their den. The head is just rolling around. The second guy, okay, that was funny enough, right? But then they kept in the second and third and fourth head fly in there. It just keeps happening over and over.
He was already my best warrior.
Yeah, that was my best warrior, and then staring at his head saying that. But then by the 5th time, I remember one of the other guys that goes like, "This is ridiculous." That was like, oh yeah, this is ridiculous. All right. Oh my god, that was really funny. I don't know if this is an intentional. So Guan Yu goes out there and takes his head eventually. The guy who's challenging everybody, and then I don't know if this is an intentional nod to the games or not, but once Guan Yu took his head, all the rest of that guy's troops just scattered. They just left. But that's exactly what happens in the game. Once you go kill the general, all the other troops just like run away into random gates. Oh shit, we're out of here. That's one of my favorite like touches in Dynasty or Samurai or anything, really. I don't think they do that in like Gundam or some other ones, but whenever you kill the general and then just everybody disperses, oh fuck, let's get out of here. You know, it's great.
It's yeah, other than other exceptions where I guess they keep fighting because there's a real general nearby, I guess you're right. They do kind of just run off when you...
Yeah, once you kill the guy you're supposed to kill, and then like your UI is clean because, you know, all the stuff is gone.
Time to look over all my weapons and see which one I'm selling because I ran out of space.
Yep. Yeah, and then... Oh, so should we talk about Lu Bu's dramatic... Lu Bu is incredible in this movie, by the way. Lu Bu fan people out there, you will be treated to some excellent Lu Bu. I wasn't sure about like the actor at first. I was like, does this really look the part? But he really sold it. It was, I don't know who this guy was, but it's clear he was I don't know, look kind of middle-aged, clearly an experienced actor of this type. He played it really good.
He's supposed to be experienced general as opposed to some of these other people, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Lu Bu's
Lu Bu's the tip top. Yeah, that's why Lu Bu in the video games, especially like the earlier Dynasty Warriors, he was to be absolutely feared. Like he was a specter on the battlefield. You did not want to go near him. If he had a territory, don't even try it. You know, that has like lessened in recent years in the terms of like more accessible difficulty, which is fine. But if you were an old school Dynasty Warriors person, he is to absolutely be feared. And that I guess that's true in, I guess, real life or just legend or whatever in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms as just like a historical figure. But in this movie, they really establish that fear because he is just a beast. But he has this odd, do you want to call it a romantic scene? Because I kind of do.
It's about as romantic as you'll see in this movie. So
there's a Romance of the Three Kingdoms joke here. I just can't find it.
Yeah, he's this lady that we find out is Jiao Chan is about to commit suicide in the river, and Lu Bu is like, "Hey, don't be doing that." With his dramatic headdress, like blowing in the other direction.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like intentional or it was just windy that day. Either way, it was great.
He's like, I'm in an arranged marriage, and we find out later it's to Emperor Dong, but it's to Emperor. But does she say that there at all? Because I don't remember.
Think she does. Oh, wait, no, she does. She says, I'm supposed to marry Dong Zhuo. No, she does say that. And then Lu Bu is like, I'll marry you. And then gives her like this amulet.
Yeah, it's like, here's my card. No one will bother you.
It's just great because he saved her from suicide and slid immediately into her DMs. Like, he did not waste any time. And look, in a feudal era like that, you can't waste any time, right? But, man...
Yeah, when guys have like lightning spears and wind swords, you know, how much longer do you all really have?
You never know, right? But yeah, the headdress, that was just, they nailed it. They had to. It's the most iconic thing in Dynasty Warriors, honestly. So they had to nail that part. Should we talk about the costuming in general? Because it's really excellent. I noticed that, remember Yan Shuao's like golden ass like armor? That shit was great. Everybody's armor looks great. And again, this seems like something that's like, well, no shit, it's Dynasty Warriors. But again, think of how many movies fuck this up, right?
I agree, because you look at a lot of popular movies right now, and it looks like none of the things are there because they're not. This clearly had a costume budget of some kind.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of things that are not, also real quick, some of the CG soldiers in the big
Okay,
battle
well,
right? Not, they don't look the best sometimes. It's fine.
it's. I mean, to be fair, in the games they don't really.
Oh no,
I've seen plenty of times where they're just kind of, if you leave them, if you just standing still, they're all just kind of. Yeah. And maybe they'll spark something at you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's sometimes they look a little crappy, but it's fine. But I really, in like the Muso attacks though, when they're really up close and flying around, that stuff looks really good. But anyway, yeah, so before they do the, I guess we could say, final battle against Dong Zhuo, Liu Bei and Cao Cao have this little sparring match / conversation.
Well, it was at least 10 minutes since someone stabbed somebody, so.
It was, but it's just like they're like sparring against each other while like then they lock swords and have a quick couple lines back and forth. Then they go back to sparring, and then they split a cliffside in half for some reason that they're next to, just because of the power. Nobody actually did like a swipe that way. Just the power of those two men sparring just caused a explosion of something.
Just like in real life.
Just it happened. It was immaculate, I tell you. God bless Hong Kong, man. I love. That's what, you know what. That's what actually gave me hope for this movie being good. Is that when I found out it was being Chinese made, because I honestly wouldn't. What if this were a Japanese movie? I'd be kind of like, China knows how to do this shit. If there's any country, I mean, they got that sort of thing down, man.
Absolutely.
And it is you will get it in full when you watch this, and that scene, it is just, it's excellent. I always wondered, this is kind of an aside, I always wondered how China interpreted like the Japanese made Dynasty Warriors series, which is about China, but
they don't really have a game industry, do they? I mean,
I guess, but I always thought about that. I mean, I wonder if they have, like, for, like, mainland China or whatever, if they have, like, Chinese versions of Dynasty Warriors, I guess. I don't know. Because, like, in the games, everyone speaks Japanese, obviously, because it's a Japanese game.
I mean, it is based on Romance of the Three Kingdoms, so, I mean, and those games existed for a very long time before Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. I just don't know the popularity. We don't know the popularity of anything over there, I guess, right? So...
I mean, most of the consoles are just ones that, technically didn't exist according to the state. Wink.
Right. So I just wonder if any of those games had even a footprint there, but I guess we won't know. But anyway, yeah, after the little sparring match, time for the final battle in the movie anyway, against Dong Zhuo. And boy, Steve.
It's wonderful.
It is delightful.
I mean, you got that initial charge. They run in. You got the guys with the shields.
Oh yeah, the shield bros. Do you like how, like, when Lu Bu first appeared, one of the horses got scared and backed up against the shields? Oh no! I was just gonna say, I really like how they established Lu Bu's horse also red hair. I didn't really think they were gonna do that, but they did. So anyway.
It just goes to show that, someone cared somewhere.
Well, they cared. They absolutely cared.
Someone cared in the spots where they were allowed to care.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you had that initial charge in there. I think that was the bridge, right? And then something... Okay, you're going to have to help me here because so much happened at once. Lu Bu somehow, like, casts a meteor or something, and then the bridge falls apart?
Well, there's the three of them, like, run to... They get the mission alerts that go fight Lu Bu, and they run to the bridge where he is. And the dramatic music starts up, and they start doing the Hong Kong martial art movie, chat before the fight, and then, meteor happens, bridge breaks, and then they start... They're, like, under the bridge, like, by running water in a cave, I guess you'd say, and
Yeah, but they're like going down the river too at the same time.
it's just and they're just going at it. The three of them with their super maxed out weapons and his maxed out lightning spear, and they're just. If you didn't think there wasn't enough Muso by this point, you gotta be like you're getting filled now.
It was a fucking Muso festival down there in that river cave. It was incredible. Guan Yu does it. Zhang Fei does it. It's all happening. Lu Bu jumps up in the air and starts twirling his spear. He does some crazy lightning Muso and casts meteor again. Then he lands right back on his horse from midair. That was crazy good.
Then they're having a rough time, and I guess to be absolutely cheesy, they make a blood pact with their weapons, and they get even stronger. And
yeah, because like, I think Liu Bei remembers that the lady said like, oh, they get stronger with every battle or something like that. So they intentionally cut themselves a little bit with their weapons, so the blood gets on it. So that powers up all the weapons, and then they become Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Well, I should say not even. That's not even enough to even kill him. Even that's like, okay, I'm run. All that's it for today.
Zhang Fei is like my favorite character who is not Dong Zhuo, and like because I honestly whenever I start a Dynasty game, I always make a beeline right for Zhang Fei, and like. His like crescent waves of fire attack were so ridiculous. It was like I don't know if you know like the first level of Gradius 2 or the fire level on Salamander where they have those crescent where they have those crescent things coming out of the suns. That's what they reminded me of. It was so over the top and ridiculous. It was guys, everybody listening, go watch this movie. I swear to God, it is excellent. Anyway, so we have the big battle at the end. I guess Dong Zhuo escapes because reasons.
I mean, I guess that's a mission fail in terms of the game, but they saved the Emperor, so I guess that's a mission success. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
you're the Dynasty Warriors expert. Did they accomplish the mission or did they fail?
They accomplished. I mean, it's fine. Look, you're not gonna. You only get to kill somebody once, right? So you got to have other battles where they escape until you have the final battle. This movie was just an escape, and that's fine. I didn't necessarily expect them to take out Dong Zhuo at that point. By the way, so like, I love how after the battle, immediately, Dong Zhuo is sitting on the throne with his hose again, and then he's like, and then someone bursts in, and he's like, "Oh, are you still gonna marry? Do you still want to marry her?" And Dong Zhuo is like, "Of course," with like 4 other women hanging off his arm. It's like, come on, man. Oh Lord. Oh, by the way, I do something that I wanted to see from the games I was hoping for, but didn't happen. So in the games, whenever you have a map battle against Dong Zhuo's forces, a part of this battle will always be his provisions. You'll always want to take his food because that will piss him off, and then he'll come out of hiding. But that didn't happen in this. I was hoping someone would be like, go secure his provision.
That maybe that happens in Dynasty Warriors 2, where they have to actually fight Dong Zhuo.
That would be...
Because even though the base text was drive out Emperor Dong Zhuo, they didn't get him to come out.
No, they did not.
He fled the city.
I think that's probably the only, like, I don't want to say disappointing thing about it, but yeah, they didn't actually fight Dong Zhuo at the end. He just sort of left. So he never really did come out.
I mean, in the end, they end up doing like a whole "where are they now" sort of thing, and
oh yeah, I forgot about the So what happens there? So Liu Bei has his own army at this point.
They ended up after that one-on-one fight. They were like, "Okay, you're the 19th Regiment or however many," and he was allowed to build an army from other ones that did not run away off screen. There were like other things, and I think that's where the "do you still want to marry her" thing comes in. Later on, Lu Feng has a chat with Zhao, which I think would have honestly been like, if this was an American-made movie, this would have absolutely been a post-credit scene.
Yeah, this would have been like if
I'm glad it wasn't.
If there were a Muso cinematic universe, this would have definitely been a post-credit thing.
So, you are building the army. Yes. So, you are looking to take the throne. I am just looking to save the dynasty. Sure you are. Just don't get in my way. No. Screen fades out. Dynasty Warriors 2 coming in 2025, one can hope.
Oh, man. I really hope this... I mean, you never know with these kind of things. I really hope there's more. My God. This was so good, everybody. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot... What's the best... Okay, before this, what would you say was the best video game movie? Maybe Silent Hill? Or like, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, my favorites have been like Silent Hill, maybe, or like Detective Pikachu was really good.
I like Detective Pikachu.
Would you say that was the best one?
I'd say before this, yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I like that. I like that first Silent Hill movie a lot. I thought they really nailed it. Yeah, maybe that would be it for me. But yeah, this is it now. That's for sure.
I mean, it was a low bar to cross, but they vaulted it and then some.
Maybe at the end of this year, when that Mario movie comes out, we'll all see that, and then we'll maybe have a different opinion. I don't think it's going to beat this, though. That's for sure.
Man, I have a lot of doubts about that Mario movie, but I'm not talking about that today. Dynasty Warriors, it's on Netflix. You don't have to jump through too many hoops. Just Netflix, search bar, Dynasty Warriors. Just have a ball, guys.
Oh, man. I guess that's it. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about the Dynasty Warriors. I think we're tapped, so I think we'll just call it here. Steve, thanks for joining me for the movie. We did the Movie Boys thing on Fine Time.
It was a fine time to watch a movie.
It always is, especially if it's one like this. So take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.